Hello, people, and welcome to NewsBTC's We Need to Crypto Talk, a show in which we invite seasoned and upcoming talents of Bitcoin and blockchain industry and discuss the enormous possibilities decentralized tool can offer to mankind. I, Yashu Gola, am fortunate to speak to our special guest today. His name is Alexander. Let's see what he has to say about his new product that is called Neurogress. Hello,
Hey
Alexander.
everybody. Hey
Ah,
everybody. Uh,
we will keep speaking over each other, I guess.
sure,
That's
sure.
the start.
Well,
So
I
welcome
hope,
to,
yeah.
well, I'm saying it's happening again. So I was going to say welcome to News BDC, and that's a little show. And I'm just going to ask you some questions about your new project, that is Neurogress. But before we begin, actually, I just wanted to know more about your professional background in general in blockchain space.
Sure. Hey everybody. So first of all, my name is Alexander Ovcharenko, but Russian names are not always that simple. Actually, that one is Ukrainian. So my background is pretty diverse. I was studying back in Siberia. Don't ask me whether it's cold or not, because I guess everybody knows how it is there. But yeah, people keep on hanging. I'm surprised I'm survived there for 20 years. But anyway, so I finished my bachelor's there. I moved to South Korea. I was working on the 3D sound localization kind of research. Then I realized I really wanted to get back to the field of my interest, which was physical modeling of different physics processes like turbulence, fluid flows, viscous flows, etc. And I went to do my PhD in the United States, which took me like almost 6 years. Oh my God. And then I got into that interesting project in Switzerland, which is called the Blue Brain Project, where the team tried to reconstruct the virtual human brain. And that's a pretty tough task to do to accomplish, if you ask me. So I worked as a high performance computing software developer here. And then I got introduced to the project called Neurogress. And that's when all that started. And I'm happy to be a part of the project. I love where it's going. I mean, to serve um, the humanity, basically.
Well, I was going to ask you about Neurogress itself because see, I read a little about your project, and it generally sounds to me like a sci-fi movie project. I mean, it sounds like it's a movie script because the way you are using your brain to control things. I mean, is it the plot of an X-Men movie or is it actually a project? So why don't you tell me more about it?
Right. Well, sometimes I'm wondering myself, but no, I'm pretty sure it's the reality, and neurocontrol is the reality we're developing at this exact moment. So I was not introduced to blockchain that long time ago. I mean, I was following, but here in that project, everything came into pieces together. So basically, Neurogress team develops a decentralized platform of neurocontrol systems based on the AI-driven software and user-driven algorithm training. And we believe that really the next step of the evolution of controlling the objects around us is by the power of thought, right? So basically, since the invention of the first stone tool, we've been controlling objects with our hands, right? Then we added another set of tools like voice recognition, like typing, searching for information, with motion recognition, voice recognition, etc. So what is the next step? Obviously, it's the thought control or brain control. Um, so as I keep saying, we're bringing this project to life. We're not limited by by the shape of our body anymore. We're linking our biological thoughts with electronics and machinery around us.
I actually want to speak about blockchain because see, your project is more. I think it's more AI driven at this point of time,
Right.
and I'm still trying to know why blockchain. Why? What does blockchain do in this ambitious project you're creating? Which role does it fit in?
Right. Right. And a lot of companies, you ask like, oh, why do you guys use blockchain? And people are like, oh, well, here, and there, etc. So they just try to, try to come up with something to prove that blockchain is really needed. So here we've got a actually very nice fit. So let me start off by saying a little bit that during it was a week ago or a week and something ago in Davos. There's a gathering like the World Economic Forum, and people were not talking politics that much that time. People were crazy. They were talking about AI, blockchain, cryptocurrencies, robotics, and all that crazy stuff. You thought like, okay, that was going to be boring, right? World Economic Forum, but no, actually it was fun. It was a lot of fun just because everybody was so tech oriented. So coming back to why we need blockchain. So.
Right.
Well, first of all, we want every company and developer to contribute from our platform. And again, you can read more about it from our white paper. But blockchain will be used for several major purposes. First, to enhance the machine learning algorithm with help of users with their neural activity. Second, to serve as an ideal transaction processing mechanism for the marketplace we're building. And third, to provide a means of intellectual property for the developers via smart contracts. And it is really possible. Like we're not saying we're putting AI to blockchain because all the tech crowd is going to eat you if you say that, obviously. And it's not what's happening. But it is possible to get the input from the person of their brain activity, all right? And by that, put it into the enhancement of our AI system, which is run by machine learning, deep learning algorithms, etc. And that input is going to be recorded, and the data about that input is going to go to the blockchain and assign the ownership of that data to a specific person. At the same time, we're going to get the input from the person, and it's going to make our algorithms better, right? Because the more input you get about the signals, the more the better algorithms become, the more functional they become. Since they're, the system is learning, is teaching itself. It's learning. So, and as a reward for that input data, we're going to give tokens to a person who is providing us with a neural activity.
Well,
does it sound legit?
yeah,
What do you say?
it certainly is. I mean, on paper it does. I mean, but
Right.
see, every other token sale out there sounds legit at the very start, and that is going to be my next question. Thanks for mentioning that. See, IoT has proven itself as already being, I think it's being experimented right now to be integrated with blockchain technology. It is happening already, and so many companies out there are trying to achieve this amazing solution. So how close is Neurogress to achieve this expectedly amazing combo? How far have you arrived, when you started? I mean, do you have a platform ready? Do you have something ready to show it to people, which can show that you have actually combined both the technologies together?
So yes and partial yes. So basically,
Yes.
yeah. Well, you're correct about the IoT and the technologies and stuff. Well, and the thing is, it's already there. The technology is there. We just need to put all the pieces together. Obviously, we've been working over the last months and years on the neurocontrol technology itself. But then we started to think of how we could extrapolate it to into other areas and combine it with all the emerging technologies like Internet of Things, blockchain, to tie this all up together. So basically, yeah, our mission is to build a smart environment based on neurocontrol, where we're able to support different type of neural interfaces, since we use neural interfaces as a media between your head and devices you control, right? So that's the meaning of neural control. But just to mention here, because a lot of people confuse us with creators of neural interfaces. We don't build new neural interfaces. We use the existing ones on the market, and we just adapt our system to them, such that they are used as a mediator between our thoughts, right, and the devices. We capture the signals, and our AI-based software basically processes them and puts them into action in the device already. So, as I said, the technology is there. We're building this smart environment based on neural control to support all possible neural interfaces and to be able to integrate our software in different kind of devices. Uh, Add to that the development of smart what is it, drivers, controllers for neuro control, like everything online. We're really ready to hit the Internet of Things. But I think I'm going to throw in an additional teaser for people here, because IoT stands perfectly for what we do. On one hand, it's Internet of Things. On another hand, and again, it might sound crazy, it's Internet of Thoughts. So yeah, people
Well,
might, yeah.
no, that is a cool output, I believe. Internet of Thoughts. Well, you can patent that, by the way.
Yeah, yeah,
If you
yeah.
like. If you like. So see, that is a convincing answer to begin with. And I'll actually move on to the token generation part of your project. And so can you tell me more about this new token you're launching? What is it about, and how people can take access to it?
Our token is called NRG. It's derived from Neurogress.
Hmm.
Well, and it's going to be used for several major purposes also in the ecosystem. Um, People are going to be paid to provide software solutions, hardware solutions, all right, on demand of either ourselves or other people. Like everything is going to be happening in the marketplace. Then those users who agree to provide their neural activity to train our algorithms, right, they're going to be paid in energy tokens.
Hmm.
Um, so all of the products, it's kind of going to going to work as an app store as well. Like all the products that are going to be on the marketplace, we're going to be selling and buying them using the tokens only. So that will keep the circulation of the token going and would support this micro economy, of the whole
Right.
ecosystem.
Alexander, but I have this one concern about the token you're mentioning. We can understand that people today are investing in the ICOs mostly for profitable purposes. They don't actually want to see the project development. I can just see that because they don't hold on to the token they are buying so much, and that is why we see very volatile pumps and dumps in the market these days.
Great,
Can you
great.
protect your holders from this volatility in the longer run and keep the speculators away for a while? So how do you plan to do that?
Well, we want to show our community that what we do is for real. Obviously, it really hurts to hear from people when they hear about the technology. They go like, "Well, this is bullshit." And sorry if I'm not allowed to say those words,
You
but
can. It's crypto community. They say it all the time in the comment box. Come on.
but I mean, seriously, you hear that a lot, and you understand that
Yeah.
you're kind of in the pool of people among who you find those whose target is the final cap of the TGE.
Mm.
Um, but I believe that the cowboys will slowly, evaporate from the market, and the people with the true valuable, technology are going to stay here, and that's what we need to really convey to our community. So first, that we're developing the technology that's for the good cause of all the people in the world.
Mm.
Second, that we're establishing connections with meaningful institutions, and we're planning to partner with such institutions as Singularity,
Right.
institutions around here like Campus Biotech in Geneva, like with EPFL, the Federal University of Lausanne, etc. So we really try to put that puzzle together where we apply the technology with latest developments of people in different industries, such that they work together. Well, I guess by doing so and by establishing communications and collaborating with right people with big names, universities,
Mm.
we'll be able to show that yes, we're really working on something valuable, not like pump and dump, because again. The TGE cap, right, is
Right.
not where we're going. We're going much, much beyond that. And if you look at our roadmap, it's like um, it's expanded into 10 years. And I mean, I don't know whether there are a lot of TGs on the market right now that project something for 10 years, but we're really striving to achieve big here, and we're here for the long stay. So yeah, that's basically the message we have to keep on delivering to our community.
That's great. So that's going to be the last question, and it's about knowing that how much funds are you planning to raise in the upcoming token generation event, and what will be your roadmap? Since you have mentioned it, what will be your roadmap after generating the funds you require?
Sure. Well, that one is funny actually, because you
Why?
know during the last 3-4 days everything is been dumped basically on the market. So
Yeah.
we don't believe into the I mean we believe into the post fiat world,
Mm,
and we're accepting our contributions in Ether or Bitcoin, but you know at the currency rate of Ether.
right.
So,
It's
so
dumb.
before, when you know, when we built our business plan, etc., and we put it in the in the white paper, we put it in the website.
Mm,
People were kind of, and then the ether it kept on climbing, right?
right.
So they want like, why are you collecting so much money? What do you need it for, etc., etc. It keeps going up. It's not
Who
the
are
way
you
like
mimicking? Who are you mimicking? Just tell me.
right,
Yeah.
right, and. But then it went down, and it went down substantially, and we're not changing anything. And I'm like, so how come, guys, you're not telling us to raise the cap right now, right? How about we raise it right now? But anyway, that's just a joke.
Well, yeah, it is.
So we're collecting 58.5 thousand ether.
All
That's
right.
the goal. The funds we're going to spend for obviously research and development, for building out all the infrastructure, for putting the databases together to link developers, users, to build out all the ecosystem, etc., etc.
Hmm.
So I mean, to our timid estimation, the funds we collect is not going to be enough. But again, this is just the beginning, and we're not stopping there. So by collaborating with other institutions and with other major players in the market who might be interested in the technology,
Yes.
we foresee that we might achieve much bigger goals, and to drive our technology and show the community that the development is ongoing basically. And in terms of the roadmap, yes, so we'll enhance the newer technology as it is. We'll integrate it into more devices and in different areas.
Hmm.
So we started with simple, even though, for example, prostheses are not simple. But we started from prostheses and little robots, right? Then we're going to talk about drones, then human-like robots, androids, then the industry, and I mean, who knows? We even think about the transportation, and we're not going to say that tomorrow there's going to be a spaceship flying on neurocontrol, but at least it's some kind of an assistant, like neurocontrol assistant. We might think about that, and it's really exciting because the possibilities are endless, and we're sure that we can pull it out. And part of the like in other directions, we're going to move on for the project development is, as I've mentioned, collaborating with institutions and big organizations who might
Hmm.
be in need of neurocontrol. And then we'll be also analyzing the backward effects of neurocontrol. So think about it. When we come up with enhancements of algorithms to control things um, outside of our body, right? We, you can be sure there is
Well,
the backward force of that, right? Such that devices can teach us how to do stuff. Like I don't know, it goes to that science fiction again, like in the Matrix when you plug
yeah,
the
well,
cable.
I was
You know
just
how.
going to say that, the last time it happened, there was a war between machines and humans, and so let's not try that.
No, but that's what we're trying to avoid, basically, by putting the AI to the outsource of people, that's how we actually control it. I mean, I'm sure we're going to, avoid that scenario you probably have in your head by just making the technology more open to the whole society.
Well, that's good to know, sir. And thank you very much, Alexander, for speaking to us. And we hope just the project turns out to be just fine. Let's try achieving the near-term goals first. And of course, I hope that there won't be a war between machines and humans in the long run. So just try to avoid that with your new project. So thank you very much, Alexander.
Thank you very much, Yashu. It was a
All right.
pleasure speaking with you. Thank you.
All right. See ya.
Okay.